It's time to get down to business as we welcome Whitney Mercilus. He is a former NFL athlete with the Houston Texans, even the Green Bay Packers. He's a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, and now with a company called Vero Capital. Kind enough to visit us today and bring us up to date with what's going on. Whitney, welcome to the show.
Bill, appreciate it. Thank you.
So here we are. It's been a few years since we talked, but you're so excited. So many great things are going on in your life. You're helping others, and you're in the real estate world. First of all, let's tell people about your company.
Yeah. So Vero Capital. So I'm currently with Vero Sade, who's the sister company of Vero Capital. But Vero Capital manages about $3 billion under assets managed currently. From everything from multifamily to office to bridge lending as well too. So different arms and different various investment opportunities that they have. Just and how I came about that, very good friends with one of the co-founders, Dan Basicus. And he, by his background, started Admiral Capital, which we should get him on the show today.
Right. Yeah. And in fact, we're trying to get him on the show because at a later date. He's in New York City. Though,
yes,
right?
exactly. So founded Admiral Capital with who's now Vero Capital with David Robinson. And it was a platform for them to start a private equity company to do some philanthropic deals for David Robinson down in the San Antonio area. So it was an awesome partnership that came up between him and I to kind of develop this partnership between us two. After I retired, specifically, we met about 2 years ago. So now here I am doing various deals with them as far as community partnerships for the multifamily deal and also investor relationships as well too.
Well, first of all, let's talk about just the sports a little bit. When I told people you're going to be on the show, you have a lot of fans here in Houston and beyond. Give us an idea. I think people look at athletes, celebrities, and we envision like, hey, we want to be them or we want a piece of what's going on in their life because it seems so exciting, right?
Oh, it is.
So give us just a word about the excitement of the sport of football. When you walked in on game day, and also for real estate professionals, the mindset that you have, because you have to perform, you go into the stadium, what's it like?
Yeah. Well, I know before the show, I told you that if I could bottle that feeling up and sell it, I mean, everybody has said it, you would be the richest man in history for sure. But why it's like being a modern day gladiator, walking out on the field, having 70,000 plus, 100,000 plus fans cheer you on to execute. And it is one of the most amazing feelings that I couldn't even describe. It's like as soon as you make a play, it's like you make a sack, you catch a throw for a touchdown, and everybody's cheering you on. I mean, just patting you on the back, and then also just so like media outlets like the NFL recognizing you on their global platform, and it is absolutely thrilling. But you're running. I mean, you've got these big, strong dudes running at each other at, I mean, literally like 20, 30, 40 miles per hour, banging into each other. But is the adrenaline rush that you get in between the whistle. And the thing is, you practice constantly, routinely, day in and day out, from Monday through Friday to execute on Sunday. And to go through that rigorous training throughout the week, preparing for at least, say, 3-4 months after the Super Bowl is over, to go out there and go execute on Sundays, to be cheered on. I mean, it is that's what you really do it all, really, is to play it, to execute, get the rewards that you get on Sunday for not only for yourself, but for your teammates as well, too.
You're working together as a team, just like in real estate.
Exactly.
You have to have the body prepared, your training, the drills, and, of course, your mind is so important.
Yeah, completely. There's so many, there's so much synergies between the two, right? In the professional world and football is the discipline, extreme discipline that you need to have, the intensity of focus as well too. I, for 10 years, have been the best at my craft, right? Now stepping into this realm, I have some relatable assets as far as leading and managing a team, a small group, but also not only directing that group as well too, but also how to study my own market, study for my own position as well too, and then also study my opponents and those beyond as well too. So the same thing within real estate. I'm stepping in a realm with extreme professionals who have been doing this their entire lives. So bringing that same intensity and focus is what is going to set me up for success.
So the things you've learned, there you are, translating into the business world. You could have done a lot of things after football, but what was it about real estate that brought you in?
Yeah. So, quick story. So during my time while I was playing NFL, as I was wrapping up my taxes with my CPA 1 year, and I was shelling out a ridiculous amount of money, he actually came to me and said, "Have you thought about investing in real estate?" I had no idea. So he showed me a couple triple net properties, and at that point, I was very curious. So 2014, 15, around that time is when I invested into my first commercial triple net property. And to do the due diligence, I actually worked with a broker. I spent about all my Tuesdays, which were Tuesdays off, and all my Tuesdays looking through 70, 60 different properties, traveled up to Hallsville, Texas, 4 hours away to look at one property, locked the deal up, and made about 5 3/4 on the cap. And I sat there, I was like, man, you mean to tell me I didn't have to hit anybody to earn a paycheck?
Or get hit.
Yeah, exactly. So at that point, I was like, man, there's something to this. And also to be able to utilize some of the depreciation costs to offset some of my income. I was like, yeah, you know what? There's something about this. I need to look into it a little bit deeper. And here I am.
And then also in real estate, there's so many areas to go into as far as to build your craft there.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you choose what you're doing now? And let's tell people a little bit more about Vero Capital.
Yeah, 100%. So when I was doing things on my own, or still doing things on my own, was more on core plus opportunities. Now trying to go into more of the opportunistic sides, which Vero Capital explores. Vero Side A, so multifamily buying or acquiring existing multifamily properties, refitting them, right? Renovating them, so relaunching their brand, Us Living. So they just launched Us Living, Us by You, which was formerly Vista, City Vista. And this is a 400-unit complex, and launched it with the idea from the founder as far as creating this community, inclusive community, giving volunteer opportunities, workout classes, also cooking classes, things like that. But always putting that in front of their not guests, but tenants, so that they're talking with each other, communicating, networking, things like that. So it's almost like a Soho house in a sense. So it's very interesting and it was captivating for me, because I come from a community where we want to learn, share, network, and so it perfectly aligned to who I was.
We're talking with Whitney Mercilus, former NFL linebacker with the Texans, and also now in the real estate world. What are some of the things as far as the opportunities? Here we are halfway through the year, and as you look at your role in real estate now and even in life, how do you see things play out for the rest of the year when you talk to the people at Vero Capital and others in the profession?
Yeah. So I always talk to them, okay, where are we at with, us defaulting on the debt ceiling, and, what are those opportunities going to happen, or what's the trickle effect, and then also the rising rates, right? And are we going to, is there going to be another increase, whatnot? So regardless of the fact, when I talk to some of these professionals, there's still opportunities. Also, another thing to consider is the raising rates in your insurance as well too, as we had to renew our insurance. So increasing by 100%. So I was like, okay, this is nuts. But the thing is, it's hard to pencil some deals, obviously, with the current environment. But there's still some opportunities to be had. There's other ways that you can actually cut the deal, whether it's through owner financing, opportunities like that, putting some incentives into the deals as well too, working with the lenders as well too, shortening up some of your debt down to maybe 50% or so. So it's just different ways. So there's more than one way to skin the cat, is what I'm trying to say. So still deals to be had, still a lot more distress to be had going towards the later of the year, to be honest with you. So there's a lot of capital sitting back on the sidelines right now, and I'm holding back a lot of capital myself to execute on some deals. So as long as the deal makes sense, then do the deal. But for me, I'm just sitting back, just waiting to, past was it June 1st? Probably into the middle of the summer months, to see where I can actually start to launch some capital myself.
When I think about that, in terms of teamwork, when there are challenges put before us and or our team, especially in the Vero Capital and the real estate realm that you're in now, I think it's interesting to see when these great minds get together. There's going to be a solution and a couple ways to do something. So
exactly.
Just like in football, right?
Yeah.
Completely. I mean, you have all the people on the field.
Yeah.
and you have to execute the play, and you also have to be nimble when a surprise comes. Or, oh, wait a minute, we didn't see that coming.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll give you a kind of a quick bridge. So when I got released and I was looking to transition to a new team, I was calling up a lot of my buddies as far as, okay, should I go with the Kansas City Chiefs? Should I go with the Packers? Should I go with the Bengals, or whether it be the San Diego Chargers or whatnot, right? So I would call up so many of my buddies because it's a fraternity where, they're going to give me the real inside scoop. Talking to some of the coaches as well, too. They're like, okay, this is the real. This is what's happening when, behind the closed doors and all that, talking to the defensive coordinators. Same thing in the real estate realm. Not everybody is working for the same umbrella, of course, but everybody almost knows each other as well, too. So whether you come from Goldman Sachs, whether you come from BlackRock or whatnot, everybody is still giving or sharing some of that information and networking and saying, okay, where are things going? I'm looking at this opportunity. What would you say about that? Is this good? Is it bad? Is office still a good opportunity itself? Or is it good in some certain areas across the nation? So it's still, you still have this great group of great minds that come together and give you a good inside information on where to go, what to do, possibly, and provide a little bit more background to your school of thought as well, too.
I've got to ask, what's it like of all the things a linebacker can do when you sack the quarterback? Is that like a super feeling?
Man, I'll tell you what. It's
Does it depend on who the quarterback is?
Honestly, you know what? Sometimes it does. I mean, if you're, it's like whether you're sacking Tom Brady, Peyton Manning versus, I don't know, Baker Mayfield. I think it does give you a different level of excitement, but all the same, it's still a great, exciting feeling to get back there.
You look in the eye and say, "I got you." I would. I'm just saying.
Oh, there's a lot of crap talking back there for sure. 100%. I may have been liable to say a few things, but yeah. I'll refrain myself from what I said.
We also today want to thank you. This is Whitney Merciless with us today on Real Estate Matters with Stuart Tata. We want to thank Public Content, especially Natalie Torres, for bringing you here today.
Shout out.
She made it possible.
No doubt.
So that's super awesome.
Appreciate her.
So give us an idea before we close this segment, Whitney. What else do you want people to know about what you're doing? And also let's tell them how they can reach out through Vero Capital to you, and you might be able to help them there.
Yeah, 100%. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter as well, too. Mercy380 is the handle. And, so right now, just got recently accepted to Kellogg's School of Business Management. So we'll be doing that for about 2 years, which is the executive program. So surrounded by, professionals that are 10, 15 years my senior, but also creating a $1 billion network that is going to, propel me into my next career, honestly. And as I continue on with Vero Capital as well, too, and be able to help and assist in any way that I can on their investment platforms.
Quick word, as you have traveled around the country and purchased homes, and you have had interactions with real estate professionals, what are the things you look for in the real estate professional, or things that you've noticed that you really like, and you said, this is going to work with this person? Yeah,
honestly, I think one of the biggest things that I love when I look to work with a real estate professional, not only is the trust but verify, of course. That's me. And so I always call the network to see if they give me some recommendations who to talk to, figure out who they are, but also their personality. Does it gel with mine? Right? Yeah, big time. I don't like somebody who constantly is hounding me, but a nice level of, hey, I'm putting this in front of you. Take a look at it. And then maybe a follow-up as well, too. Because I already have like 1,000 things going on, so I don't need somebody always nagging me. But at the same time, it's somebody who's willing to teach me at the same time. Like, okay, I may not know everything, and I won't sit here and say that I know everything, but as long as they're willing to teach me, okay, you need to look at it this way, whatnot, I kind of like that aspect as well, too.
And again, Whitney, the website for Vero Capital is?
VeroCapital.com.
That's easy enough.
Oh, 100%. That is very easy.
Thank you so much for being with us, Whitney Merciless.
Yeah, thank you.